Hey everybody, it's draft time. NFL draft is in the book, so finally get to see what it's like after the rookies have been all evenly distributed. Well, maybe not evenly, but all the rookies are on NFL teams. We're gonna have to figure out what that means for fantasy. We got some updated ADP here. Let's get to it. This is a redraft mock 12 team PPR, a snake draft. You want to draft with us? Here's your chance. You want to know how to get in? Click the link. It's right there in the comments section. So you can check it out. Grab your spot now because you got maybe a few seconds left.
Yep. It'll fill quick. We got one spot there. No, okay, nope. Clayton jumping around. All right, there it is.
All right, let's get to it.
Yeah. All right, it looks like Sleepers beat their ADP at least. It looks somewhat reasonable. Looks like Sleepers ADP at least at the top here, somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, it is definitely updated. And I figured they were waiting till after the draft to really make major changes. They tweaked it a little bit here and there, but it's definitely better. All right, so here's the first question. How much rookie fever are we going to see here? This is a redraft. I mean, it's a mock, of course. This is a redraft mock. So are all the rookies going to go way too high?
I don't think so. If anything, I'm curious to see how far does Malik Neighbors and Rome Odunze fall. How far do they fall? Obviously, Harrison probably won't fall at all. But how far, if any, does Neighbors and Odunze fall? Because Neighbors, we know the risk with Neighbors in that landing spot. Odunze obviously competing with Keenan and DJ Moore, so we'll see.
I mean, we already talked about this, and I'm sure everybody watching here has already seen the videos we've been putting out. Neighbors was going round 3 pretty much, and I think we even saw him in round 2 and some of the very final mocks we did right before the NFL draft. Yeah, there's no way I'm touching him anywhere close to that. So for me, he should fall a lot. But yeah, that will be interesting to see exactly what people think of him.
Come on.
All right. Well, Miguel timed out. I mean, got Tyreek Hill. It's not the worst auto pick.
Wow. Okay. So we're being nice here. I went 5, kind of middle-ish. You went 9. Didn't want to grab any of the first few spots, but man, once again, Justin Jefferson falling to me. I'll take it.
Yep, take that definitely.
They got their guy JJ McCarthy. Now yes. There's some buzz that they're okay letting him sit and just watch Sam Darnold be the quarterback there. That's what I read today. Do you buy that at all?
I mean, maybe early in the season, but as soon as Sam Darnold isn't cutting it, I bet we see JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I believe that they'll let him play it out, Sam Darnold, for a couple of games. Sure, yeah, that's fine. Maybe until they lose back-to-back games. But yeah, they didn't move up to get a guy like that just to sit him on the bench. That's just not the NFL anymore. It just does not happen. So yeah, a couple of games maybe.
All right, let's see what Clayton does here. Is it too early for Marvin Harrison?
It's never too early for Ayuk. There you go.
Oh my goodness. All right, there it is. There it is. Marvin Harrison, first round pick.
I mean, do you think we start to see that? I mean, obviously that's one of Clayton's guys. Do you think Harrison in most drafts even enters the first round conversation?
I think we're gonna see him. I mean, look, when on the best ball draft I did last night, I think he was pick 14. So we're already seeing him move up to the early part of the second round, close to that 2-3 turn. It wouldn't surprise me. I think in more casual leagues, probably not, but it wouldn't surprise me if in, sharper leagues, he didn't become a first rounder. Not saying he should. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me. All right. This would normally be a smash Kyron pick for me. How worried am I about Corum, really? Maybe this is the safer pick. I'm just gonna go Saquon here.
Yeah, once we get, well, obviously Harrison off the board, Jake London off the board. It's just that zone. I don't think really much has changed there with the receiver. It's like, are you sold on any one guy there?
No. No, I'm not sold on any one guy there. So I feel like I feel like I'm okay taking Saquon here. Even if Saquon isn't, vintage Saquon, he should be good enough on the Eagles behind that offensive line, which, by the way, they upgraded that offensive line not only in the draft but in free agency. So, yeah, I think he'll be fine there. I will say I haven't quite figured out how I feel about Kyron yet, because remember last year with Charbonnet, we were all very worried about Charbonnet taking work from Kenneth Walker, and that never happened. At least not enough to impact him in fantasy. So, yeah, I don't know. Close there between Saquon and Kyron for me.
All right. Yeah, I'm on board with Saquon over Kyron. Yeah, I think the guy I thought that if you're getting a receiver would be Olave. That's the guy I kind of hoped would fall to me, but didn't. But he seemed to come out ahead after the NFL draft.
All right, so Miguel's saying his sleeper app isn't working. Miguel, if you want to just drop your pick, just comment with your pick, I can set it for you.
Okay.
Hopefully you're watching the stream and you can see the players there, or maybe you can see the players on your app.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. He made a pick. Okay. Neighbors in the second still. Ooh, how are we feeling about that?
Yeah, well, that's aggressive. Look, I know sometimes you say a guy's so good he can make the quarterback look good or make the team better. Not if it's Daniel Jones. It's like, I'm sorry, just no. I can't take Neighbors even in round 3. There's still plenty of receivers I got over.
Yeah, I also want to ask about, now that he's been picked, DJ Moore, because DJ Moore was a guy we obviously, when the season first, obviously last year we were like, this is the year. This is the year to finally draft DJ Moore. And he came through for the most part. At least when Justin Fields was healthy, he came through. He struggled there with Bajin, but that's to be expected. Beginning of the offseason, we said, yeah, DJ Moore, smash pick in the second. Then they signed Keenan Allen, and we were like, well, okay, we still like DJ Moore, but maybe more like in the 3rd round now. Now they just drafted Rome Odunze. Like, what are we doing with DJ? Where you feel comfortable taking DJ Moore now?
Yeah, that definitely is the question. There's only so many targets to go around. I mean, even if we think Caleb Williams is ready for primetime right away, well, okay, hold on. Let me put in a pick here.
JSC saying, I love the talent of Malik Neighbors. Me too. I don't like the talent of his quarterback, though. And we can't act like quarterback doesn't matter, because I will just point you to Garrett Wilson 2022 and Garrett Wilson 2023. Was he a complete bust? No. Was he worth a 2nd-round pick? Definitely not. So I love Neighbors. I love the talent of Neighbors. I don't love his quarterback.
Yeah. The situation has to matter. I mean, receivers dependent on his quarterback. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It can't not matter. I love the talent too, but I hate the situation. Hate the landing spot.
Hate it.
All
right, well, back to DJ Moore and that Bears. I know we haven't talked about the other Bears receivers, so maybe you could talk about DJ Moore without mentioning others. But because we loved DJ Moore last year and we loved him early in this offseason, but now how do we feel about him?
Yeah, and okay, so this is to Keith's point. He's like, well, Neighbors is going to get all the targets. Again, they have to be catchable. They have to be casual targets. They have to be quality
I mean,
targets.
how many targets did Garrett Wilson get last year? Like 100 and like a zillion. Well, he was like one of the leaders in targets last year.
Yep. And he was good, but not great. Look, so DJ Moore now we got the opposite problem, right? He's gonna have a supposedly a really good quarterback, and now he's got all of a sudden a bunch of competition for targets. But I think DJ Moore, this is a guy who has never had really good quarterback play consistently throughout his career, and on the other hand, he also hasn't really had this kind of competition for targets. This is like a whole new world for DJ Moore. So I'm going to say I got him more like late round 3. I can't drop him too much because they will still pass it a lot. I think he's still the number 1 receiver there. As much as I like Odunze and we know he's going to be a very good receiver, he's still a rookie coming in. It's going to take him a little time to get his feet under him. And Keenan Allen, I mean, you figure he's good for missing a couple of games at least. So I think DJ Moore is still the number 1 guy there.
Yeah, no, I think DJ Moore is still the number one guy for sure. Just wondering how far we're dropping him. This is a spot I don't like at all. I'm just gonna go Laporta here. I don't really like the guys on the board here. Let's just take Laporta. But yeah, just like Garrett Wilson last year, 168 targets, 4th most in the league. Like, yes, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say chase the targets. Targets. But there are certain situations where you get a lot of empty targets. And unfortunately, I think that is going to be Neighbors. Now, I will say one thing about Neighbors. Okay, yes, I love the talent. And Neighbors, but Garrett Wilson's like this too. Neighbors is the kind of guy, he doesn't need all his yards to come through the air, right? He's the kind of guy, he can get like a 5-yard pass and turn it into a 60-yard touchdown, right? Like we used to see with Odell back in the day. But again, like you said, he's still got to get the ball in the right spots. And we're going to be like kind of like what we saw with Garrett Wilson last year. Defenses just know, like, you are it. You are it. You are the weapon, right? And they're just going to do whatever they just. If you can eliminate Malik Neighbors from the game plan, you can. The Giants have nothing. They have nothing after Devin. They don't even have Saquon anymore. They have nothing to scare a defense. So I totally love the talent with Neighbors, but man, I've just been burned so many times by talented wide receivers with horrendous quarterback play that I can't do it. I mean, there's a point where I'll do it, but not second.
Yeah, he easily could wind up being one of the more frustrating picks in fantasy because you see the talent and then he'll flash it. And then there'll be a game where the Giants lose like 10-7 or something because they just can't generate the offense. Like the offensive line still has a lot of question marks. Like you said, now the one thing they had going for them, Saquon in the running game, that's gone. Yeah, I'm not out completely on Lake Neighbors, but I know someone will always draft him before I will. Yeah. But oh well. That's here's this. Well, I don't put this up yet. This could take the Danny Dimes to Neighbors connection will starve generations to come.
Yeah, I've been burned too many times by talented wide receivers with bad quarterbacks. Like Daniel Jones is on my like don't want wide receivers attached to quarterback list, if that makes any sense.
You only got one receiver so far.
Let's just take the value.
Wow, still 4 rounds in, only one receiver. This is highly unusual.
I'm just taking the value here. I'm taking the tight end 1. I'm taking the QB 1.
And of course, Clayton taking McBride. Of course. Yes. What is up, by the way, Marquise? Talking about rookies. Xavier Leggett. That's a Panther fan for you.
Yeah, that's definitely a Panther fan. But look, you got Deontay Johnson, so you do have a fantasy relevant wide receiver there.
There you go. All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he gets drafted.
I will say, like
Fonzie.
those. What's that?
Oh, sorry, I guess it's Fonzie saying Laporta over McBride is crazy.
Is it? Is it? I just assumed everybody had Laporta as the tight end one. Is that? Am I in the minority here? Is Laporta over McBride crazy?
No, I think you're right.
I think everybody just have Laporta as the tight end one? I mean, he was the tight end one last year as a rookie, and nothing's really changed there in Detroit. It's not like they drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. or anything. So I don't know. I do like McBride though. Don't get me wrong. I like McBride.
Yeah. No, I think it's mostly unanimous, but hey, we'll see.
I will say those last two picks were tough. It's a spot there where I don't like. I like Zay Flowers. I like Rashad White. I like T. Higgins. I guess I like Derrick Henry. Okay-ish. Nico, I probably would have taken Nico over Josh Allen if he fell to me. It's just that spot there. Just those spots just don't feel like there's any obvious smash pick. So just give me the tight end one and the QB one.
Yeah. Hey, I'm always about value, right? Wherever it falls, you take it. It's kind of tough with the receiver because I know what you're saying. There's several good, maybe even wide receiver 2 types, but nobody who really stands out. And I'm willing to bet you could probably still on the way back take somebody you're relatively happy with.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's hope.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple Kelsey questions. Why did Kelsey fall so far? And then Python saying 3rd round Kelsey is tight end 1. Is Kelsey still the tight end 1?
Well, he wasn't last year. So like the biggest question we have to ask is, was last year just last year? Is one of these things? Was he distracted or whatever? I don't think we'll see much different this year, except for the fact that, they have now Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy. I don't see that as being good for Kelsey. He's a year not younger. I mean, I don't see tight end 1 coming back.
No. Those days are over. Sometimes teams tell us what they're doing without telling us what they're doing or what their plans are. Last year, obviously Kelsey, it was a down year for Kelsey. He was still really good, but it was a down year by Kelsey standards. And then what happened in the playoffs? He was great. He was great in the playoffs. The Chiefs showed us their plan with Kelsey. Use him sparingly in the regular season. Just use him as much as they need him in the regular season. Save him for the playoffs. The Chiefs know what they're playing for. They're playing for a Super Bowl. Now they added, like you said, they not only did they add Hollywood Brown, but then they drafted Xavier Worthy in the 1st round. I mean, they're telling us what their plan is with Travis Kelce to protect him for the playoffs for when it matters. So I think Kelce will still be good, but frustrating.
Well, I know it wasn't early. It's not like they took Brock Bowers, but they did draft a tight end too in the mid rounds, and he's a pretty good prospect. Actually, I thought he was a little bit underrated. He's a guy who could wind up being a receiving threat in Jared Wiley. So just saying, I know Kelsey re-upped for 2 years, but yeah, tight end 1 and coming back for fantasy. I got McBride, I think, over him, and
definitely
4th round is still okay, but I'd rather see it more like the end of the 4th round.
Yeah, I think like around where Andrews is going is fair.
Yeah, that's about one. And I think here's the big question is, who do we like? Because I think Laporta and McBride, both being younger, have more upside. And on a per game basis, of course, being more productive than Kelsey last year anyways. But what about Kelsey versus Andrews, who Andrews has been the tight end 1, but Andrews also has had more injuries. You got Kelsey still even over Mark Andrews.
Probably. It's close. I mean, Andrews was having a really good year last year before he got hurt. It's close. I mean, I certainly think like I don't know how you can't be concerned about Kelsey. Like I don't get it. Like he wasn't great last year. He's 34 or 35 now, and they've just added 2 very good pass catchers. Like I don't know how you can't be worried about Kelsey. I don't that to me it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I think yeah, like Andrews Kelsey pretty close.
Yeah, close. I can see. I can make a case for either one. I think again, if you're looking at tight end or just you see who falls to you and you're like, okay, well, I'm good at receiver. I don't love anybody here. Take a tight end. I think you can go either direction. Just take the guy who falls to you. But yeah, I think I do have Andrews maybe a little bit ahead of Kelsey right now. Now that they did indicate, they being anonymous sources, that maybe Rashee Rice is going to miss up to like half the season. Is this just BS?
I can't imagine. I mean, like, is this what the NFL cares about? A car accident? Like, look, I'm not trying to like diminish what happened because he was driving very fast and very dangerous for sure. But like, we have seen players. Okay, well, I was going to take this guy last round, so I'll happily take him here. We have seen players. Like, we just saw Alvin Kamara on video kick a dude in the head while he's on the ground, and he got 3 games. We're like, 3. Okay, yeah, you kicked the dude in the head while he's on the ground. Like, okay, 3 games. Car accident? Half the year. Car accident where like no one was injured. Like, I get it. He got lucky. It could have been worse. I totally understand that. But like, what? Like, I don't know. Like, smoking weed, your career's over. A car accident where nobody got hurt, you're missing the season. You punched your wife. Is there video? No. Okay, you're fine. You know what I mean? Like, you're fine. Like, no big deal. No video, you're good. Don't worry about it. Like you kick the dude in the head while he's on the ground, like unconscious. Okay, well, let's slap on the wrist. Like, who comes up with these things? I don't know. I can't imagine half the season. That'd be crazy to me. But hey, maybe.
Like, nothing is surprising at this point. Yeah. Again, this is nothing remotely official. So I can't see it, but of course, it doesn't have to make sense, right? This is what they come up with from year to year. That would, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say they went out and drafted Worthy because of that. Because come on, you don't spend your first round pick on you're worried about a few games during the regular season of the first half. That's not how you do things. And their Chiefs are obviously not a stupid franchise. So although they have made some really bad picks at your draft picks.
The Chiefs don't even care about the first half of this season. Like, come on.
Yeah, they don't need to.
The Chiefs are like, whatever. Chiefs are playing for the Super Bowl. Well,
tight end run.
Again, another spot where there's just not a pick that jumps out to me here. I could go running back here. All right, I think this is okay for him here.
Very nice. All right, somebody. Okay, John Starr saying I like that Stroud pick in the 5th. Okay, let's see the QB situation here. Stroud just got taken after Mahomes. All right, but before Burrow and AR, and then now Kyler Murray. 5th round.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think that's probably about where he should go. I personally have to put Mahomes back ahead of him because number one, it's Patrick Mahomes. We know there's no risk of like, was last year a fluke? We know that's not a risk. Not saying that last year was a fluke for CJ Stroud, but I'm just saying, like, we know with Mahomes it wasn't a fluke. And again, we just talked about it. Even if Rashee Rice misses half the season, oh well, he's got Xavier Worthy, he's got Hollywood Brown, he's got Travis Kelce. He finally has weapons again, right? He finally has weapons again. So I got to put Mahomes back over Stroud. I think Stroud after Mahomes is fine. If you want to go AR over Stroud for the rushing, I'm okay with that too. If you want to play it a little safer, I guess, with Stroud, I'm okay with that as well.
Yeah, and it makes sense that team. He just did Tank Dell, so pairing them up. Clayton, of course, pairing up Kyler with Marvin Harrison, the stack that he'll have in 100% of his leagues if possible.
I will say there are some picks I think we need to address. I hate picking on people's picks because I certainly make bad picks, so I'm not immune to this. But with the Cardinals drafting Trey Benson, how do we feel about James Conner at the end of the 4th round now?
Yeah, well, James Conner was a screaming value up until last weekend. So I mean, he's certainly going to still be the lead back for now, and he's certainly startable in fantasy for now. But I think we were loving being able to get temporarily James Conner in like round 5, round 6. And now with Trey Benson there, I don't think you can or should pull the trigger before round 6. If he's still there, sure, you take him, but it's definitely going to be limited because even at the very least, even if you know early season, it'll probably be almost all James Conner. It probably won't be that long before that 3rd down role just becomes Benson.
Yeah. And the issue, yeah, that's definitely a huge thing. And the biggest issue for me is like this isn't like all right, well, I guess we're gonna have another pick to talk about. This isn't like if they drafted somebody who's just a 3rd down back. It's like, okay, they drafted a guy who can be a true 3-down back in the NFL. So I do worry with Conner. Again, like you said, I think, sure, early in the season, we see probably more Conner than Benson. But as the season goes on, I think we see at least a 50-50 split. So I don't want to invest a 4th round pick in a running back that is likely going to be in a 50-50 split. And like you said, could lose a lot of passing down work.
Yeah, and here's the thing is you really have to, not just with the rookies and what you think they might do over the course of the year, you have to think this way with the veterans almost in opposite terms. When it's playoff time, when it's the second half of the season, who's going to be more valuable? And this is where you look at the situation just like this, is Connor's going to see his role diminish just as Benson starts to come on. And that's what you don't want. A guy who's really good in the first half and then fades.
I almost picked Rome Odunze with my last pick. I would have had it taken me if he fell to me. All right, and then another pick. I think. Okay, I will say before we discuss this pick, we both love Deontay Johnson this year, but I think what do we got here? We got the 504 is the highest we've seen him go. Are you okay with that, or do you feel like that's still too early?
Round 5. Well, I think round 6 is where I feel better about Deontay Johnson because then I feel like you're getting some decent value. I mean, I still got those guys. I'm trying to look if there's anybody who went after him that I wouldn't take before him. I mean, I like Pickens better. Obviously, I took Pickens. Cup is risky, but certainly has more upside. McLaurin, I think I would take over him. I still got Keenan over Deontay, I think, for the most part. Jaden Reed is where I'm a little torn, right? Because Jaden Reed was really good, but Jaden Reed also is battling with several other guys for targets. But he still has more upside on a weekly basis, probably. So I do like Deontay this year. And look, sorry, Marquise, but yeah, I don't think Xavier Leggett's going to be a huge threat to him, right away. So I would prefer him round 6.
All right, and then we had one from Paper Eckler in 6'11". Are we drafting Eckler in round 6? I guess the question is, are you drafting Eckler in round 6?
No, because I got Brian Robinson still over Eckler, and I was actually all set to take Ramondre over where I would have taken either of them, and then Ramondre got taken. So there's still a couple of backs I got over Eckler, Swift, Ramondre, Javante. I'd like to wait and see if I can get the veteran discount. That's the only way I'm taking Eckler. I prefer round 8. I don't think he's lasting until round 8. But yeah, no. I'm guessing that's what, 2, maybe 3 rounds too soon for you?
Yeah, at least. Probably 3. Probably more like 3 rounds too soon, honestly.
Yeah. So, all right, you're buying the dip on Rashee Rice. So you're expecting minimal damage, maybe 2-3 games most?
Yeah, that's what I would be expecting. If it's half the season, okay, that'll hurt for sure. But I'll buy the dip here. I'll buy the dip here.
Yeah, I mean, half the season is absolute worst case scenario, and that would be a surprise. I really would be shocked. I think 6 games is the most realistic worst case scenario.
Yeah,
it's probably gonna be 2. It's probably
again,
2.
I can't imagine after Alvin Kamara got 3. Like, are we really expecting half a seat? Like, am I just crazy? Am I taking crazy pills? Like, okay, so we assume he wasn't drunk because, I mean, you never know. Like, you never know. But it was like morning time, right? It was like morning time. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he wasn't drunk. He was street racing, which, look, I think straight racing is terrible. I don't think people who street race understand the harm that they're putting other people in. I know some street racers out there think they're as good of a driver as Max Verstappen, but they're not. So I certainly do not condone street racing by any means. He should not have been doing it. I'm not saying he was in the right here or anything. He certainly should be punished. But if Alvin Kamara only got 3 when he's on video kicking a dude on the ground, how do we give Rashee Rice half the season? Like, how does that make any sense?
Yeah, it really doesn't. The priorities are a little whacked, which they have been for a while, NFL. But yeah, I was all set. I was like, okay, I'm waiting on tight end, but Evan Ingram was there, but now he's not there. That's fine. Look, I'll take the guy I said I was going to take. I'll take Brent Robinson. So I think lead back here.
I'm actually feeling pretty good about my early Sam Laporta, Josh Allen picks with the way this has gone out. I mean, obviously I got, Kupp and Rice are risky. I guess McConkey is risky too. I guess it's easy to sit here now and say I'm happy about it, and then it's week 4 and Cooper Kupp is hurt, Rashee Rice is suspended, and Ladd McConkey isn't getting any playing time. And suddenly I'm not feeling so good.
Risky, but you got a lot of upside there. You got great value. Yeah, Rice, I mean, I feel like a little reactionary to the talk that we were having about the suspension. Maybe me bringing it up pushed him down, but yeah.
What's interesting is, what's interesting, remember early in the offseason, I was like, second round Rashee Rice, that's too early. And then they signed Hollywood. I was like, second round Rashee Rice, way too early. And then, but even before the car crash, the car accident, he was still going like round 3, like round 3, round 4, and Hollywood was going like still around like 6. And now you look at it, he's the last chief wide receiver being drafted now. Now you got Hollywood and Xavier Worthy over him. So for me, a lot of times in these situations when you have a crowded group like this with 3 guys who I'm like, I don't know if I feel strongly that any one of them is going to be the clear-cut number 1 on a weekly basis, just give me the guy going last. It's like same with the Texans. Just give me the receiver going last. I'm not going to sit here and try to say I'm so smart that I know which guy is going to be the clear-cut number 1 or that there's going to be a clear-cut number 1. Just give me the guy going last.
Yeah, exactly. You always want to come away with value. I mean, I know some people are like, oh, get your guy, but yeah, the guy is going to change on a consistent basis. So
yeah, I'm all for getting your guy, but like when we have a situation like Houston or a situation like KC, how can anybody sit here and say they know who the guy will be?
No,
or if there will even be the guy. There probably will be the guys. 1 week it'll be this guy. 1 week it'll be that guy. Some weeks it'll be two guys. Some weeks it'll be maybe all three will just do okay. Maybe some weeks they won't do very well because the offense will struggle. Although with Patrick Mahomes, you may not have to worry about that so much in KC. But
true. Gus
bus. Get on the Gus bus.
All right. Not. Well, actually, I don't know. Let me see. All right. I'm not looking to get more veteran, but I guess I can't let Luck fall too far.
I know. I was looking at him too. I'm like, man, am I gonna have to pull the trigger on DeAndre Hopkins here? Ugh.
I'll do it for you.
Thank you. Sam asking if you can see the first two rounds. Yeah, so we're almost done, Sam. If you hang tight, I'll show the whole draft board at the end. We only have I think 3 or 4 more rounds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't worry. We'll break the whole thing down like usual.
Yeah. So if you just hang out maybe like 15, 20 more minutes, we'll be done.
Yeah, like no time at all. Let's go back to this. JSC is asking about Javonte Williams. Has not wowed to this point. I mean, this is true. Injury part of it, but also last year wasn't overly impressive. You're still in on him based on what Broncos did. Got rookie quarterback, a rookie receiver.
Yeah, and they took Audric Estime in round 5 or 6. It was not a prospect I really liked. I think Estime can probably get into the number 2 role there, but I'm not worried about him for Javonte. And yeah, you're right. Javonte has not wowed yet, but you got to remember as a rookie, he was splitting with Melvin Gordon, kind of very similar to what we saw with like Rachaad White and Leonard Fournette as a rookie. And then year 2, week 4, he tears his ACL. And then, of course, last year he's coming off ACL. I mean, it's running back struggle first year back from ACL. It's just a fact. It's just the way it is. So now he's 2 years removed from ACL, should be fully healthy. I don't know if Bo Nix is the answer. I don't know if the offense is suddenly going to be phenomenal. I don't think like Javonte Williams is going to smash. I don't think you're going to draft Javonte Williams and be like league winner Javonte Williams. But I could see Javonte Williams being an upside RB2 this year.
Yeah. I'm starting to get more and more skeptical. And we talked about this during and after the NFL draft. I'm just skeptical about Sean Payton being an offensive mastermind and what that offense is even going to look like. Again, with a rookie quarterback who wasn't really necessarily a surefire first rounder, except for the fact that so many teams need a quarterback. And I think some teams talk themselves into this pick. But anyways, I think Williams, as long as you know you're not getting RB1 upside, I think he's fine if you get him where he should be going.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to pull the trigger in the 7th round. Like I would definitely take like Stevenson over him still. I'd probably take Pollard over him, maybe Brooks, maybe Aaron Jones. I think I would definitely take Zamir White over him because Zamir White and Javonte Williams to me feel very similar, right? Like going to be volume based, but man, I feel pretty good that Zamir White is going to get like a bazillion carries this year.
Yeah, he's going to get more carries. Javonte will be more involved as a pass catcher. It'll even out probably. What is up, Bus? Is in the house.
What? What's up, Bus?
The Bus is back. See, everyone comes out after the NFL draft.
Yep.
Okay, so look, maybe Bo Nix doesn't start day 1. Are we going to see Zach Wilson? And
Wait, didn't I see something? They didn't exercise his option. Is he like not on the team anymore?
Already? That was quick.
Yeah. They got. Oh, there's Zeke. We got Zeke. They got Bo Nix. They don't need him.
What? Did they ever need him? Okay, yeah, you're right. Wow. If they had picked up that option, it would have been guaranteed $22 million.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess he's still on the team. I guess he's still on the team this year. But to answer this question, no, there's no chance Cortland Sutton could finish top 15. Garrett Wilson can't finish top 15 with Zach Wilson. How is Cortland Sutton going to do it? No chance. No chance.
Yeah, this is possible. Even with Bo Nix, like I said, I'm not sold yet. I don't know if they'll be that bad, but I don't think it's going to be great. Sutton benefited last year, but at least look, Russell Wilson, for better or worse, he could still chuck it down the field. Don't know about Bo Nix. I mean, I think the worst offense in the league this year will be the Giants, which is why I'm mostly off of Malik Neighbors, unfortunately.
Well, speaking of Giants, I'm taking their RB1. Ugh.
Hey, volume is volume. I mean, it's not a lot left out there at running back right now. Bus wants to know, anybody else high on Will Levis?
I think you are.
I am. I'm getting there. I don't think he's gonna be a superstar, but look, I think he's gonna be a pleasant surprise. Put it that way.
Yeah, I think he'll have some. I think he'll at least have some streaming weeks.
Yeah, I'm not about to go take him as my starting quarterback in this draft just to stack him with Hopkins. Like, I'm not that high on him. So I think he'll be fine. He's a guy in a super flex. Yeah, I'd be okay with him actually as my QB2 in a super flex. I don't think he needs to be drafted in a single QB league, though. All right, is it time? See, I waited again. I'm waiting on tight ends because I kind of figured that Jake Ferguson will still be here, and I was wrong. Mostly everybody else has a tight end except for Team 1, Twisted Bliss. So let's get my tight end here. Hello, Justin. Justin O'Grady's in the house. How are you doing? All right, so we're almost 10 rounds in. Just realized Team 10 Interflux already took Troy Franklin and Keon Coleman. What do you think about that?
I like Franklin. I think he's worth a shot late. Keon Coleman is going to be tough for me because I did not like him as a prospect at all. Brandon Bean, that's his name, right? I want to say Billy Bean, but wasn't he the Oakland A's GM? Brandon Bean?
Yeah, that's the baseball.
Brandon Bean today said he's going to play the X. He can't play the X. But yeah. I know also he's also got Josh Allen, and he seems to be a national treasure. So
that's the problem. Everyone just assumes Buffalo Bills wide receiver smash. Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, you figure they drafted him there. to be the X, right? That's what they're hoping and thinking he's going to be. Interesting, not surprising, but Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir taken back to back. I don't know if you want either or if you have a preference. Are you taking Shakir before Coleman?
No, I think if I'm going to gamble, I'm going to take Coleman. I mean,
oh, really?
He was the guy. He was the guy they picked. They have plans for him. I mean, they said he's going to be the X, so he's going to basically be their new Stephon Diggs. He's nowhere near the talent of Stephon Diggs, not even near the prospect Stephon Diggs was. Yeah, I do worry that he could struggle, but at the same time, I also worry, like, what if he doesn't and I miss out? So he's going to be tough. He's going to be tough.
Yeah. I just still think that this year's version of the Bills offense won't be too different from the second half version of last year's, except that all those Diggs targets, half of which went, uncaught, they're going to be more evenly distributed. Coleman's not going to be anything close to a target hog. Shakir won't either. They'll soak up a couple. I really think the biggest beneficiary here is still Dalton Kincaid and to some extent James Cook. So, all right, let's probably could wait on quarterback, but I want my stack. Here it is. Tua Waddle.
All right. All right, and then because we get this question from time to time, where's the TJ Hawk love? Whoa, no Hawkinson yet. Why isn't Hawkinson been drafted yet? What's the reasoning
there? He is hurt.
Yeah,
could miss the first month of the season, according to Sleeper. I don't want to draft a guy that's going to be out for a month and then, all year he's going to be just coming back from ACL.
Exactly. Yeah. Do not love this. Do not love this. I might have to go a little deep here at running back.
Yeah. Whoa. No, I just realized Clayton. Clayton gets his guys. Taking draft sleeper Tyrone Tracy already. You're going another draft sleeper, Kamani Vidal, who, look, let's be honest, wasn't really on the radar until he got drafted in the perfect spot by the Chargers. I like that pick, though. I did have him queued up.
Okay, I'll say this about Kimani Vidal. I don't know how you pronounce his first name. And literally, I will say, I'll be totally honest. I didn't even do any research on him prior to the draft. So, but Chargers GM and Jim Harbaugh have been talking him up a ton so far. And when you look at it here, what's the resistance? Gus Edwards, who I do like. I like Gus Edwards. J.K. Dobbins coming off an Achilles tear. Come on, guys. Come on. Please don't do that. Joshua Kelly, who I don't like at all. Isaiah Spiller, who's been nothing but a bust. Would it be that shocking if Vidal is a Chargers RB1 by season's end? I don't think it would be, honestly.
Oh, no. No, it's a great situation for him, which is why he's on the radar now. Not because we had, some really high pre-draft ranking for him. So we'll see. I mean, apparently he was comped by some analysts to Blake Corum, who we thought they would take. He's got some physicality. He's got some good hands. We'll see. I'm surprised that a team that really wants to establish the run didn't take somebody sooner, but I guess they just wanted to establish the defense first. So, but Did You Die is back in the house as well. What is up?
What's up? And yeah, definitely not going to be able to get Lamb. Man, you got Lamb and Sun God last year. Nice.
That's how you make a winning team. Yeah, Sun God definitely, like, no doubt, mid first rounder this year.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb finally going top 5 in drafts as he should have been.
All right, 2 rounds to go, and then we'll break down each and every team, give our thoughts on them. Our very first post NFL draft mock draft, and we'll keep doing this every week.
All right, let's just keep reaching. On these rookie RBs.
There you go.
Can't say I love it. Can't say I love any of the running backs on the board right now, honestly.
No, this is just shooting for upside. What do you think about Davis? I mean, Damian Harris retired. Not that he ever really played much for Buffalo, but behind James Cook, there's not too much depth back there. Ty Johnson was just kind of guy they brought along midseason. He's more just veteran depth, I feel. Latavius Murray, I don't even know if he's with another team or not. I think that he's not coming back.
No.
So I think Davis has a good shot to contribute.
Yeah, I think he can contribute, especially in the passing game. I mean, I know James Cook is a good pass catcher too. I think he could contribute. I'm not expecting big things, but I'll say this. I mean, we're at the point of the draft where most of these running backs are handcuffs.
Oh yeah.
If James Cook goes down, he can fill that role. So
handcuffs and dart throws. That's what we got here.
Yep.
Would have made things so much more interesting if instead of just signing Zeke, if the Cowboys traded for some backup that's on a different team, they rumored to get maybe they'll get like Khalil Herbert or Damian Pierce or somebody. Just give us something. Come on.
I mean, I don't understand. I know Jerry Jones raved about Jonathan Brooks before round 2 when he was still on the board. Maybe that was it. They were like Jonathan Brooks or bust. Maybe that was their plan. If we don't get Jonathan Brooks, screw it. But are you telling me you looked at Trey Benson and Jalen Wright and just said well, if we can't get Jonathan Brooks, let's just go with Zeke. Let's just go with Zeke then. I guess there's these Trey Benson, Jalen Wright. Let's just go with Zeke. Really? Why not just grab Trey Benson or Jalen Wright? Okay, you got sniped on Brooks because you ran your mouth like an idiot, assuming he really wanted Brooks, assuming it wasn't a smoke show. But why not grab Benson or Jalen Wright? Were you that down on him where you're we'd rather just roll with Zeke?
It's the thing. Even, okay, you don't want to get a running back in round 1 or 2, fine. There's so much value still there, even in round 4 for running back. It was just really surprising they didn't.
I mean, where did Jalen Wright go? Round 5? Jalen Wright didn't he go around 5?
Do what?
Didn't Jalen Wright go around 5?
Yeah. Was it round 4 or 5? Yeah, I can't remember, but let me see.
I mean, you're telling me that you're
no, he's round 4.
Okay, round 4. I mean, but you're telling me that you're Zeke is good enough. We'll pass on round 4 Jalen Wright, and Zeke is good enough. Okay.
Yeah, apparently he's cheap enough, I guess is what he is.
Well, that's true. He doesn't cost a lot.
All right. Do I take the upside pick or the sentimental pick?
Sentimental. It's a mock.
There we go. All right. So, Ray Davis has a shot to be the number 2 running back in Buffalo. But so does the son of Frank Gore Jr. That's right. He didn't get drafted, but he signed an undrafted free agent deal with Buffalo. He's going to work his way up there. Come on, Frank Gore. Junior.
We shall see. Is this like Sean Tucker? Did he go undrafted last year because of some kind of medical issue, not because of the talent?
No. Look, I was never big on Sean Tucker, so I'll just say that. Gore is just undersized.
But that's what people said last year. They were like, the only reason Sean Tucker didn't get drafted because of his heart issue.
Maybe.
I don't know. How much playing time did Sean Tucker get last year?
Too much. Very little, and it was still too much.
And then they went out and drafted Bucky Irving this year. Like, I don't think they believe in Sean Tucker.
No. I was surprised. Like, you figured teams, even a little bit earlier, at least give a shot, take Frank Gore in the 7th round. Or like Brendan Rice, I really thought he would go at least in the 4th round. I'm surprised he fell so far. I mean, what does legacy mean? Nothing anymore?
I guess not. I guess not. Do I go running back here? Do I just go best wide receiver? Let's just go. All right. There's a full draft for you, Sam.
All right. Yeah, there you go, Brendan Rice. There
you go.
We'll see. All right. See here. I talk a guy up. You took Bucky Irving. Interesting. You're not a Bucky Irving fan, but you like the landing spot.
Well, again, same thing here. Like he's a smaller, worse Rachaad White, but if Rachaad White goes down, they're just gonna put Bucky Irving in there. Go ahead. It's not gonna be Chase Edmonds. It's not gonna be Sean Tucker. It's gonna be Bucky Irving. So,
all right. Well, there you go. Get your high end handcuff. Volume does typically rule, right? Volume matters.
I mean, let's be real. If this is a real draft, if this is a real fantasy league, I'd probably be dropping like
Come on,
some of these guys in week 1.
And there it is. All right, guys. Well, there's our draft. Let's break down each team real quick and give quick thoughts. First mock after the NFL draft. Feel like we did see a lot more rookies taken earlier, especially guys who weren't being considered at all until the NFL draft. So let's see. But remember, this is redraft mock. Twisted Bliss, number 1, CMC, no shock. Evans, Pittman, Connor in round 4. Kirk, Swift, Javonte, Watson, Curtis Samuel, Jerome Ford, Brandon Cooks, Caleb Williams, and Hunter Henry. What do you think about that?
Caleb is his QB1. It's risky, but he's got the upside. I mean, again, we talked about the Connor pick. I think that's way too early. I think Swift is okay there. Maybe a little early for Javonte, but I don't hate it. Like if you had gotten Connor where you got Swift and Javonte, I'd like it better. But I mean, a lot of players on this team I like. I like McCaffrey. I like Evans. I like Pittman. I like Kirk. I think Samuel's okay there. Ford is. I'm starting to really come around on Jerome Ford. Hearing Kevin Stefanski talk about him, they didn't do anything at running back. We know Nick Chubb probably not going to be ready to start the year. Who knows when he'll be back? So I mostly like the team. I just think that Connor pick was way, way too early.
Yeah, it should have been later now after the Benson pick. I like that you have 4 startable running backs who should be startable, but I think they were each a little early. Not Swift maybe, but the others. And receiver, veteran, but good, solid. We'll see about Caleb Williams. We'll see. This team has some risk, but should be solid. Paper went Lamb and Diggs. Diggs in round 2. You feeling that?
Yeah, not for me. Not for me.
Not for me either, but we'll see how that plays out. Maybe he'll be rejuvenated now that he's got his way out of Buffalo. Josh Jacobs, Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Andrews with a stack there. Eckler, Chubb, Lockett, Sutton, Judy, Mike Williams, Pierce, and AJ.
Yeah, again, I'm going to say what we said. Eckler just feels too early. I would have preferred at least one wide receiver there where you took Eckler and Chubb. If you turn one of those guys into a wide receiver, like Lockett, Sutton are okay. Judy, I mean, Judy could have gone to the Chiefs, I don't know if I would have drafted Judy. Like, how long are we gonna do this for? So yeah. The Diggs and Eckler picks. I mean, I'm not drafting Chubb either, but like, okay, fine. I mean, the Diggs and the Eckler picks are the ones for me. I just think are way too soon.
Yeah, Diggs. No. Even if he stayed in Buffalo, like probably still too early. So, and then the Eckler Chubb. I mean, with the running backs, we can't look back. You have to look forward, and those guys, their best days are definitely behind them. So, just too much risk at running back for me, and it's a little veteran, right? This whole team is a little aged. I think we need some more young upside here. Instead of a guy like Mike Williams, take a shot on a young receiver or something else. All right, what about Miguel? Had a little technical difficulties, but pulled through very quickly. Got Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, Pacheco, Mahomes, Brian Thomas in round 6. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, he's another guy. It's going to be very tough for me this year. I think he's going to be very volatile. I mean, I think round 6 is probably okay. I don't know. I think I might just rather gamble on Worthy in that Chiefs offense, to be honest. I'm going to go with one of the rookies, but it doesn't seem terrible.
No, again, looking around that range, like I would take Odunze over Thomas and Worthy. So I think it's around maybe 2 rounds too early for me personally. I'm really not in on Thomas. I see a path to upside in some big games. He's a guy I'm definitely probably drafting underdog, best ball only. But we'll see. We'll see if he becomes the number 2 guy there, which, by the way, Justin mentioned, got to connect with Gabe Davis. Hey, you can get Gabe. Come on here. Definitely game for that. Would love that. Let's make it happen.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Ramondre, Jake Ferguson, who I will say you sort of sniped for me around early. Gus, nice pick. Corum, I still think is solid. Leggett, Eli Mitchell, and Dobbs. So as a whole, you like this team?
Yeah, I think the rest of the team. I mean, again, DJ Moore feels too early in the second for me. I think where you got Smith is good. Like, I would prefer Evans or Pittman over DJ Moore personally. Back half the draft seems fine. Yeah, so it's really for me, it's just the DJ Moore pick. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think it's very good. I will say I like the mostly middle part of your draft, rounds 7 through 10. I think you got some really good values and smart picks. You got a bunch of guys I was targeting right in that range. You got them around before I would. So I like your middle portion of your draft there. Don't love the Thomas pick, but I like everything pretty much after that. All right, and then Brian Ibarra went with Bijan, and then Neighbors, talked about that already. Devontae Adams, Hurts, Deontay Johnson, we also discussed. Monty, Odunze, Bowers. Let's break that down real quick. Do you feel Bowers is startable in a single tight end, no premium 12-team league?
Barely. I mean, who? Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, who we got throwing to him here? Yeah. I mean, I'd probably still take him over a guy like Hunter Henry. But I would go Ferguson over him. Yeah. Another tough one. Give me another tough one there.
Well, I mean, very, very disappointing landing spot for him. I think he's got to be considered more at the very back end of the tight end spectrum here. I mean, over Hunter Henry, yes, just because now Hunter Henry's got what? Jacoby Brissett, I guess, temporarily will be fine, but then you got to wonder if they go to May and all that. But anyways, just want to throw that there. Okay, we got Moss, Corley, Rico, maybe the true RB1 in Dallas. Jalen Polk and Ricky Pearsall. Sure, take some shots at young players late. Are there too many rookie wide receivers for a redraft league, though?
I mean, Neighbors, Odunze, Corley, Polk, Pearsall. It's all rookie wide receivers. Yeah, very risky here. Got a rookie tight end. Yeah, pretty risky, but we'll see.
Yeah, for a redraft, it's yeah, we're all going to take shots on some young players, but yeah, you don't have to take it on all of them. So a little too many rookies for my taste. Well, let's see. I took Justin Jefferson, Waddle, Debo, Cook, George Pickens, Kamara, JSN, B Rob, D Hop, Njoku, Tua, Marshawn Lloyd, and the son of the legend, Frank Gore.
I'll tell you the pick that really surprised me was Kamara. I didn't think you were in on Kamara that much.
I'm not.
Man. Waddle in the mid-second. I have not seen that. I mean, I like Waddle, but man, that feels early. But I guess it's the way the wide receivers are. Were you just thinking there, like, hey, I just don't like any of these wide receivers?
I was between Waddle and Pittman. I think I've taken Pittman a lot, so let's try and Waddle there. I don't think. Look, I still have Waddle definitely over Neighbors, still over DJ Moore at this point, of course, over Diggs, over Devontae Smith, and yeah, I mean Pittman's the only other guy really I considered at that spot.
All right. Yeah, and then you took the D Hop value, saved me from doing it. So yeah, I mean, I like Waddle, I like Debo. I actually think Kamara will be fine, I guess. So yeah, seems fine.
Not what I was going for, but okay, that's fine. They can't all be winners. Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, it turned out like I didn't hate any of my picks. The Kamara pick is like I was between him and maybe Swift, right? Maybe Ramondre. I really thought I was going to get Ramondre on the way back, and I was wrong because I forgot Miguel's ahead of me. So, yeah, it's okay. I think it's okay. All right, Eat Man with Brees Hall and then Kyron double RB. Got DK Tank, CJ Stroud, Cooper, Pollard, Mostert, Ingram, Dotson, QJ, Roman Wilson, and then Hawkinson.
Yeah, I mean, I like that RB start. Again, Brees Hall and Kyron should be good. Wide receivers just feel okay to me. Like DK Tank, Cooper feel fine. Every now and then, one of them will go off for you. Stroud, I think, was fine there. I like Ingram at tight end for sure. I'm fine taking Hawk as your backup. And I like your bench, I guess, maybe, kind of, sort of. Yeah, I don't know. I would like more upside at the wide receiver position, I guess. Different wide receivers I would have gone with.
It's the DK pick mainly, I think, right? Like okay, so the guys who went right after, who I think you would probably have ahead, Zay Flowers, I'm guessing, maybe T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Would that have changed this a lot or just barely?
Yeah, I don't know if it would have changed it a lot. I mean, I do like Zay and I do like T, but I don't know if I like him like way more than DK Metcalf. Yeah, maybe you did the best of what you had here.
Yeah, I think when you're in the middle here, and he was dead middle or 6, and then you're going double RB, you're pretty much not getting a wide receiver one. So
yeah.
Look, I'll say I know I said a few weeks ago I was sick of drafting Amari Cooper, but getting him mid-round 6, that feels like pretty good value. So I think that was solid. But it's just the lack of a clear number one receiver is probably what might hold this team back. But overall, I think you did a pretty good job. And then we got the Brown Mamba. Is that right? Jamar Chase, Team 7. Jamar Chase, Olave, Etienne, Hollywood, Kincaid, Mixon, Xavier Worthy in round 7. Jordan Love, Tyjae Spears, Jameson Williams, Charbonnet, Jalen Wright, and Josh Palmer.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great start. Chase, Olave, Etienne. That's a fantastic start. Hollywood's starting to feel like he's going too early now. Now I'm kind of like reversing course here where I'm starting to feel like maybe Hollywood's getting overdrafted a little bit. I do like Kincaid there. I think Mixon is fine there. I like that Worthy pick a lot. I think if I can get Worthy in the 7th round of redraft, I'm doing that. Feel pretty good about your bench. So yeah, overall, I think this is might be the best team so far from what I've seen.
All right, that's strong praise, and this is from the 7th spot. Yeah, Hollywood is. I mean, we saw a definite reaction to Rashee Rice here, because he fell pretty far, and now Hollywood's jumping up. So I wonder how long that will hold, or if things start to kind of even out eventually. So I think like Mixon doesn't make me do backflips at that range, but him, Cooper, not Cooper, sorry, him, Kamara, Monty, not too different, right?
Right.
And I get Xavier Worthy. I don't know. Like, I would have taken Rice over Worthy. I think that's a little early for Worthy. Probably could have waited a little bit on Love. So I don't love the value in the middle of this draft, but I think you definitely have a solid core here. So got some upside at least, got some upside. All right. And then Clayton, I probably could close my eyes and tell you exactly who he drafted, but let's just read them off anyways. Marvin Harrison stacked with Kyler. Brandon Ayuk now is an early 2nd round pick. Achane McBride, of course. Jaden Reed, Jonathan Brooks, I think that's a new one. Addison, Kendre Miller, Chuba Hubbard, Tyrone Tracy, Javon Baker, and Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, I mean, Clayton is definitely team get your guy, no doubt about it. Harrison, definitely the shock of the draft. Ayuk, we know he's your guy. Still feels a little early. I think this is okay for Achane. I probably would have considered Achane had you not taken him. Although I still might have gone Laporta since I had just gone Barkley. But I certainly think this is fair for him. I like McBride. Kyler Murray, late round QB value is forever gone. Yeah, he got his guys. We'll see if he's right, then this team will smash.
There you go. That is definitely true. Are we seeing anyone other than Clayton taking Marvin Harrison round 1? We talked about this at the very beginning, but in case anybody missed it, you think this is going to trend upward for him?
I mean, what happens when we get to like training camp and he's out there making one-handed catches and doing crazy stuff and he scores a touchdown in preseason? We might.
I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think this early. I mean, Sun God's going before him, 99 times out of 100. Probably Puka, but interesting. We'll keep track on that. All right, your team. You went with a 9, and you got Sun God. That must feel pretty good. And then you got Saquon, Laporta, Josh Allen, Kupp, Kenneth Walker, Rashee Rice, Ladd McConkey, Eddie Mitchell, Singletary, Vidal, Ray Davis, and Bucky Irving. All right. Well, I will say you wound up, I think, pretty good at running back. You got kind of that anchor in round 2, and then getting Kenneth Walker in round 6. You're probably pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, running back depth is very risky, as is my wide receiver depth, very risky. But when you start, when you go QB tight end in rounds 3 and 4, it's going to be like that. But for getting the tight end 1 and the QB 1, I'm overall okay with this team. I'm pretty pleased with this team. It's got a lot of risk for sure, definitely risky. But since I went tight end and QB early, I think it turned out all right.
Oh yeah, and you talk about me taking Kamara there. That's because you took Kenneth Walker, who I was ready to take, but figured he might not last. So I thought that was good, and I like your upside there with those rookies. You got the QB 1, probably, or at least QB 2 or 3, tight end 1. So yeah, receiver risky, but I like the risks you took. Those were, of course, smart risks. And then Interflux, welcome back, by the way, first draft since the draft. Puka, Jahmyr Gibbs, Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, Terry, Kittle, Benson, Godwin, Keon Coleman, Troy Franklin, Algier, Purdy, and son of another legend, Brendan Rice.
Yeah, I mostly like this team. I mean, Puka Gibbs is a great start. You got Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, Terry McLaurin. Yeah, Kittle not my favorite tight end. I think I would have just preferred to wait and get a different tight end. But it's fine. Kittle's fine. And then I mostly like your bench. I mean, yeah. Purdy as your QB1 should be fine. If you had gotten Dak over Purdy. Like if you got Dak or you got Algier, I might like it a little better, but Purdy's fine. So, hey, for your first draft back, I think you did a very good job. Well done.
Yeah, I wonder maybe just taking Purdy to stack with Kittle.
Maybe. Makes sense.
Dak fell. He kept falling. And honestly, if I wasn't going to stack Tua with Waddle, I probably would have taken Dak. But you think that has anything to do with the fact that they didn't do anything really much at receiver or running back?
No, because I think what it means is we're going to see the Cowboys, just like last year, just be the super pass-heavy offense. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Dak was not even a starting quarterback in this draft. The backup to Joe Burrow for Team 11. So Team 11 here, JT, Drake London, Rashad White, Nico, Burrow, Pitts, Ridley, Najee, Shakir, Chase Brown, backup QB, backup tight ends, and Josh Downs.
I'll say I like White. It feels early. But I like the rest of the draft here. I'm fine backing up Kyle Pitts. Like I have no problem backing up Kyle Pitts. And you know what? I'm probably okay backing up Joe Burrow too because he has missed quite a few games in his career. So if you can get Dak, I think I'm okay with that. So yeah, I think White maybe a little early. But other than that, I think it was solid. I think you got a lot of good value.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't need in this format to take the backup and keep your tight end, but whatever. That's not going to make or break this team. This is a sneaky good team, I think. I mean, if you look at it, he picked right before the turn with Ale. And if you flip-flop Nico and Rashad White, you're looking at late third round Nico, early fourth round Rashad White. That's about right. Got two really good running back workhorses. London, Ridley. Upside. If Pitts comes through, that's the big if on this team. If Burrow stays healthy and Pitts comes through, this could be a surprise contender, I feel like. This is like a sneaky good team. And then, of course, there's Ale. Nothing sneaky about it. He always drafts smart and back to 0 RB. So let's see. A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, and Keenan Allen. Kelsey at tight end, AR at QB. His running back room is Aaron Jones, Zamir White, Jalen Warren, Zeke, Gibson, and Tank Bigsby.
We got a Zeke truther. Love the wide receivers. I mean, Keenan Allen as your wide receiver 4 should be fine. I love the AR pick. Again, I think Kelsey will be fine this year. I still have him as a top 3 or 4 tight end, but I'd probably go McBride over Kelsey personally. And then, look, I think for waiting for running back, Aaron Jones, Amir White, Jalen Warren, Dusty, Zeke, those guys can at least get you by. They can at least get you by. So, yeah, I think overall it'll end up being a good team.
Yeah, I agree. I would swap out McBride for Kelsey, but otherwise, if you're picking at the turn and you're going ZRB, then like this is where it starts. Like this is writing the book on how to do it. Get stud receivers, and you get guys who are going to get volume at running back. Aaron Jones is going to be fed pretty much and get those dump offs. Zamir White should get fed. Zeke will still give at least RB3 value, and you got him as your RB4. Got some shots late. Yeah. This probably, to me, is probably the best team. All right. And with that, we're done with this, and we'll be back with another one. Of course, we'll draft, and we're already starting to draft for Best Ball Mania on Underdog. If you haven't checked that out, you can go and check out the very first one Chris pulled off. We're going to do this a lot more too, so be ready. You can draft, maybe join with us.
That's right.
And if you missed it on this mock, just turn on notifications and you can join us as soon as we go live. And hopefully you can all get a chance to jump in there. So we'll be doing a lot more mocks.